PJ Bishop, welcome to my channel and the ongoing series with the Oakland A's. Here we are, opening day of 2026. It was a rather quiet off-season, nothing too exciting, mainly because I had some budget constraints. I wasn't given, in fact, I had actually slashed my development budget by a third just to be in the black. But there were a few transactions. So November 6th, first day of the offseason, right-handed pitcher Osvaldo Bido, second baseman Max Schumann, and first baseman Drew Lugber were released. That's more or less just freeing up 40-man roster slots. I don't like taking them up, and I don't like eating up extra salaries, because that would have been, roughly $2 million plus right there. Second baseman Jacob Wilson was added to the 40-man roster and placed on the active roster. That's this young man down here, who's currently the 40th ranked prospect. Although right now he's the shortstop. And then Oakland and Tampa have come to a trade agreement. Oakland sends 24-year-old second baseman Darrell Hernandez. And I know I loved him very much. But when I saw that Jacob Wilson was rapidly increasing in skill level, I thought to myself, oh, there's my second baseman. There's no need to keep Darrell Hernandez when Jacob Wilson looks like he's going to end up being the better player of the two. And we're going to have a little longer leash on him since he'll be a rookie this year. So anyway, him and 26-year-old right-handed pitcher Freddie Tarnock in exchange for 29-year-old right-handed pitcher Brady Singer, which we'll get into more detail later on. But as you can see, he's a solid 50 overall. I don't think he's going to really fluctuate too much from what he is here. It says his movement could go up by 5. I think that he is where he is right now, and I'm okay with that. And then February 27th, which was pretty much the beginning of spring training, or very close to it, right-handed pitcher Ryan Johnson was added to the 40-man roster and placed on the active roster. That's this young man here who seemingly out of nowhere progressed tenfold over the offseason and is looking like my number one starter on the year. So he'll be interesting to look through with him. So that's it. Oh yeah, well, and also then April 2nd, which is today, second baseman Nick Ahmad was waived and designated for assignment. I don't expect Nick to be sent down to the minors. He's too old, and he also doesn't want to go down there. I tried. He said no, thank you. So I also tried to trade him. No league interest unless I package him with somebody that I like. But I don't feel like giving up something that I like for someone that I may or may not like as much. So it made no sense. So I'm going to end up releasing him. His salary is on the books already, so it's not going to cost us anything because it's already taken into account. But anyway, let's take a look at the front office. Budget's still the lowest in the league, and so is the player payroll, although it jumped up quite mightily. It's $47.8 million this year, which is a pretty big increase from, I think, last year's $30 million. So we do have $12 million available in the budget, but that was later on. Like I said, I had to cut down my development budget just to make room. We have some money for extensions, although I don't plan on extending anybody this year. Long term, it's going to hurt. That's going to dip into that money. I think anyone that I plan to extend is going to end up signing for less, or I just won't resign him. But yeah, not much here has changed. I don't think it'll ever change. I don't know if the market size ever changes. Fan loyalty, we're trying to get it up there. And fan interest, we're trying to get that up there as well. What was it? That was weird. Owner. This year's team records don't suck completely. At least last year we finally didn't lose 100 straight games. Or 100 games. Oh, that was 3 seasons in a row. So we kept it from being 4 in a row. That's good. 102, 112, 100 last year, or the year before that, 99, my second season. Increase fan attendance to 15,000 games. I think it's possible. Find a top 20 prospect. Build your farm. Currently 11th. I have the 11th best farm system. I really, like I said, I made an effort to increase my farm and do a good job. And we have gone from 28th to 11th. improve my draft record. I finally got a player up on my roster that was drafted. Soon enough, the total war is going to start going up. And of course, reach the playoffs eventually. Take a look at some of our salaries here. Brady Singer is our most expensive player at $8 million a year. Then we have Seth Brown at 5. Of course, these three guys are contract expiring. Seth Brown at $5.1 million, and Mauricio Dubon at 3.9. And then the rest of them are still under somewhat friendly contracts with arbitration pending, but none of them are breaking that $10 million mark, which is good. Oh, bad news of Mason Miller. Mason Miller ended up suffering a setback and is out for 14 more months. So he's out for this entire year and 2 more months next year. So essentially he's going to miss half a year, 2 years of baseball. So it's unfortunate. We won't see him again until he's 28. After 2 years off, because he was hurt for half the year last year, he'll be hurt for this entire year. And then he'll be hurt for 2 more months to start next year. So it's not looking good. Anything else that's ridiculous here? No, that's pretty much it. The rest of the salaries are fairly... I don't know if we'll ever get to this number. This is really... So in 3 years from now, we're going to get to a pretty heavy number. That's because most of these guys will probably end up being traded or released as younger guys come in and take their spots for the minimum. Let's see here. As you can see, player development budget. Oh, I could have dropped my draft budget. Oh well. Now they tell me it's 11 million. Player development budget is now. But look at my prospects though. I got the 33rd, 37th, 40th, 50th, 66th, 120th, 160th. I mean, we're really getting up there with prospects. Well, 3 of them are in this year's major league, so I could get rookie of the year. Really good chance of getting rookie of the year with 3 of them starting off. Anything exciting here? No, I already told you about the injury. So it's the only injury that we suffered. I mean, it was from last year, so it's not like we suffered it. Really, there's not much more news to go over as far as the off season. That was the off season. It was, like I said, uneventful. Just a matter of having to cut my development budget down since I locked out somebody. But we're looking forward to this 2026 season. I think we're finally getting better on paper. I think on paper we got a better lineup. We got a better rotation. Bullpen might hurt a little bit this year because of the Mason Miller injury. But things are starting to come together. I think the organization as a whole is looking really good. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to go over the pitching staff, and then followed by the lineup. And of course, my favorite is the prospects. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.